Hi, my name is Barb Nangle. I'm the founder of Higher Power Coaching and Consulting. I want to welcome you to my podcast, Fragmented to Whole, Life Lessons from 12-Step Recovery.
This is episode 51, Life on Life's Terms. If there was ever a time that we have to learn how to live life on life's terms, this is it. Worldwide pandemic, quarantine for weeks and perhaps months on end. This is what's happening, people. This is what's happening. So if you're pissed off or you're upset about the fact that this is happening, or the way that certain people are responding to the situation, or the way that certain people are not responding to the situation, or the way that you're responding it, then perhaps you could use a little bit of an attitude adjustment and learn how to take life on life's terms. I'd heard the expression life on life's terms many, many years ago from a guy who was in AA. And of course, I know the definitions of those words. I thought I knew what it meant, but I really had no idea until I came into recovery. What I've come to learn is that I was trying to force life to be on Barb's terms. I was trying to force the world to be on my terms, traffic to be on my terms, other people to be on my terms, or maybe not forcing, but at least fighting against the way things were, being pissed off all the time that things were going the way they were and not some other way. I was pissed off at the educational system, the government, the economic system, you name it. I wanted everything to work differently than it was working. And I ate and drank and drugged and deaded and masturbated and had codependent relationships through my life because I wasn't willing or able to live life on life's terms. But I didn't know that was what I was doing until I got into recovery. And it had everything to do with acceptance. I learned in recovery that acceptance is the answer to my problem today. If you need help with acceptance, then you might want to listen to one of my earliest podcast episodes on acceptance. It's actually episode number 2 and one of my most popular episodes. In that episode, I detailed the journey of acceptance that I went through and how I learned to go from not being able to accept things like traffic to really being able to accept things like driving across the country in a rented camper van that broke down repeatedly and I didn't know where I was or where I was going or what I was doing, and not losing my shit over it, because that was what was happening. I was living life on life's terms. So what can you do right now in this COVID-19 environment to learn to live life on life's terms? Well, that really depends on what you're struggling with, but I can tell you that right now, I am really at peace. I am happy, joyous, and free. Of course, I miss my friends, but I'm really enjoying myself. Things are much more leisurely. I'm definitely busy, but one of the things that I am doing to help me live life on life's terms is sticking to my schedule as closely as possible. I've tried to keep it much the same as it was before quarantine. I'm keeping the kind of structure and regularity that my life has always had for the most part. I'm doing it the same way because I know that that's healthy for me. I may not be leaving my house, but I still have my same meetings and my sponsee calls. And one of my part-time jobs, the hours were reduced, but I still only work at that part-time job within the same window of time that I used to. And I'm filling the remaining time in that window with things that I've been wanting to do for my business. One of the other things I'm doing right now to live life on life's terms is I'm being very selective about the information that I'm taking in. Before I was in recovery, one of the things I did all the time was catastrophize, or what I call living into the wreckage of the future. I would seek out information that kept me in a state of anxiety. And I now know that doesn't work for me. It's not sustainable. I know the evening news doesn't work for me. I do stay informed about what's going on, not as much as some people do, but I read what I consider to be credible sources. And then I balance the factual information I'm learning about what's going on with the virus and the impact on the community and the healthcare system and the economic system, and especially on small businesses. I am paying attention to that, but I balance that with information about good things. And that includes things like following positive people on social media, going outside every day, and while I'm out there, paying attention. I'm really aware that the birds don't know there's a worldwide pandemic. The flowers don't know. The clouds don't know. The sky, the sea, the sun. They didn't get the memo about the fact that there's a worldwide pandemic. And just seeing that the world continues to go on, nature continues to go on, is a great way to balance the good with the bad. I also balance good with bad by maintaining conscious contact with my higher power. I have 3 very purposeful times a day of conscious contact with God, and then a lot of times in between. I have faith that good things are coming out of this situation, and they will continue to. I know one thing is true, is that I used to know what was best, or I thought I knew what was best. And I thought I knew what was best for me, but I was terribly wrong. When I learned that I was codependent and an addict, I thought that was the worst thing ever. And it turns out that those were the best things that ever happened to me, because those led me to the 12 steps of recovery, which has changed things drastically for this lifelong seeker. Ways that I'm living life on life's terms right now include that I'm following the guidelines of public health officials. I'm only going to the grocery store, outside to walk, and to my sweetheart's house. No place else. I've also got enough food in my house that I only need to go grocery shopping every 2 weeks. And the next time I go, I will definitely be wearing a mask. These are examples of me living life on life's terms, which means I have to stay home by myself most of the time, and I have to observe the social distancing rules so that we protect the most vulnerable in our community. So what is it that you need to do to live life on life's terms right now? For me, it's been basically stop fighting against what's happening. Stop being pissed off about how things are. Stop, breathe, and do what you can with what you have where you are. Stop lamenting that you don't have such and such. You don't have it. That's your reality. And stop lamenting the fact that you're not somewhere else. You're not. That's your reality. Life on life's terms means you're where you are with whoever you're with whatever you have. Accept that is what's happening and make the best of those things. That is living life on life's terms. That's it for today. If you like what you've heard here, then you just might be interested in private coaching with me. If that sounds like you, head on over to my website, which is higherpowercoachingandconsulting.com, and click on the contact menu. I'd be happy to schedule a consultation with you to help you make lasting changes in your life, like I've made deep, lasting changes in my life. My ideal client is someone who is ripe for change, but I'll coach anyone who wants to be happy, joyous, and free. So if that's you, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can be sure to get future episodes of my podcast. Thanks again.